Hello, this is Steve. I'm going to show you how to use Potlatch. Well, that's the idea. So first of all, we start Safari, and we don't want to go to my home page. So what we do is we go to openstreetmap.org, and it can't find the server because I've misspelt it. And then the website loads up, and that's the idea. So the first thing we need to do is log in. Once logged in, at the top right you'll see I've got a message because I'm really popular. Option to log out and see things. Now we have to find somewhere to edit. Let's find somewhere relatively obscure like Baghdad. Lots of beautiful data down here. I'm sure we'll be able to find something to edit. So here we are in some anonymous place in Baghdad. We click at the top left, we go edit. We get some nice aerial imagery coming down. This is Potlatch 0.7b. This allows you to also have other aerial imagery in there. So here's a road. So how do we add a road? You'll see this road that we've just selected is highway unclassified. If you want to find out how to tag things, then you go to wiki.openstreetmap.org and then the map features page. And this is just a very, very large page of everything you could possibly want to tag. So that was unclassified, and here we go, highway unclassified, and it looks a bit like that. So if we go back to our tab, here's our stuff. We've selected our road, and it's tagged with highway unclassified. And let's pretend we know the name of this. We can hit this plus down at the bottom right hand side, add a new tag. This brings up a large list of presets, things that we can tag. I'm going to give it name, and then I hit tab to go over, and I'm going to call it Stephen Road because that's really great. Now you'll see it's still selected. If you click off, it's unselected now. That's now being saved at the server. Well, that's the theory. If we click back on this, there we go, name Stephen Road. Now obviously it's not Stephen Road. We don't want to damage the map data. So we just delete that, click off again, click back on, and there it's gone. Now if we want to add a new road, you can see there's some new roads in here that we should try and add. Let's click from the middle. Oh no, there is a road there. So this one is just a segment that you can't really see on that background. It's a way with two nodes, sorry, not a segment. And we'll use this preset tool, just click down here, and we'll choose, I don't know, that looks like a residential road to me, so that's residential. Now I'm guessing someone's also done the other ones, so here we go, residential, 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 residential. There we go, some nice residential roads. So now we have to find something to add. One thing we could do, if we click the clicky the ticky, as Richard says, the background's slightly faded. It might make us easier to see what we're doing if we uncheck fade background. Everything comes in full Technicolor. Now this parkland, land use forest, this has been done. I don't think there is actually a land use forest. I think it's land use woodland. Let's go and check on map features. We just search for forest. Nope. Land use forest. Oh, there you go. Managed forest or woodland plantation, so it is fine. What can we do? Let's try zooming in and let's make a building outline. One of the things you'll see is we've just zoomed in. We've probably zoomed in too far for the Yahoo aerial imagery, which is why everything's just gone white. So let's zoom back out again. There you go, there's the imagery back. I don't like any of these buildings, they're not sufficiently big for me. Let's go down here and see if we can find something to tag up. Still loading ways. I don't know, there's a little building now. Let's pretend that this is a building. It looks like one. So I'm going to click once, click twice, click 3 times, click 4, and then I'm going to double click to end, and then I screw it up because you're not supposed to double click to end. So I press escape to undo what I've just been doing. I'm going to do the same thing, but just click once at the end, and that closes the way. So that's an enclosed way of 4 nodes and 4 bits to it. I'm going to tag it up because I'm old school like that. I'm going to do building yes, because that's a building. Obviously it's not quite perfect. Oops, press escape. I could probably pull that in a bit, this in a bit, try and make it a bit nicer. You get the idea. Now, let's try and find something else that we can tag up. Something that looks nice. That looks exciting. What's that? So this is a node on its own that apparently has no preset upon it. If I double click, then I'm adding points of interest. So let's just pretend that I know on the corner of this building there's a postbox. So what I do is I double click, and it fails. I double click, thank you, and I get a node on its own. So again, I wanted to call this a postbox. I click the plus. It's helpfully said amenity right there. And then out of all of this stuff, it has pharmacy, place of worship, blah blah blah, and postbox. There you go. So I could have typed that in, and then if I click off, then there you go. It's now being saved, or has been saved into the database. If I click on it again and I say, oh, actually no, it's not an amenity postbox, then I delete that value first of all, click off, and it will be saved. Click back on, and I say it's a pub. Then we're going to go amenity pub, and then if I add another one, name the Jolly Mapper, and there you go. And now again, because we don't want to destroy this data set, we're going to click on it and we're going to press delete. Delete or backspace is fine. If I was to create a road, let's just pretend that this is a road here. So I click once, twice, 3 times, and then I double click to end, unless I'm closing away, as we just found out. Now that's a road. I'm going to just say that that's a motorway. If you pretend that it's a motorway, highway, motorway. Motorways don't have names necessarily, but they definitely have reference numbers. So that's ref. Maybe it's the M25. That's what we'll call that. So that's a motorway, and you'll see it's slightly highlighted blue because of that. Next, if my motorway had a footpath across the top of it, we'd go like that, and then I'd go highway, and it doesn't have it because it's the car. So if we click the car onto the little walking dude, then we go little walking dude footpath, and that's highway, footway, foot equals yes. Now that's fine, but the renderer will have its own ideas about which one is on top of the other. So this one is obviously saying the footpath is on top of the motorway, but when it actually comes to be rendered, it might say something else. So if we wanted to make that explicitly on top, we add another tag, and we would say layer 1. So that's everything by default is at layer 0, and then you can add 1, -1, and so on to make things look pretty. Now if I want to delete this, I go shift backspace to kill that. And go that, shift backspace. Now the next thing we can do, let's just draw a little road again. I'm going to make this a cycleway because that sounds exciting. So highway, cycleway, cycleway equals track. There you go, I've created it. Hopefully it's now been saved to the database. If I move something, there you go, I've just moved it. Now I've created 2 versions. There was one where the point was down here and one when it was up there. So if I click this, I press H or whatever the hell it is to get histories, capital H, yes, Shift H, capital H, you'll see I've got 2 versions here. Now with a bit of luck, I click the old one, I click revert, and it doesn't do anything. But you get the idea, this should revert to way back over there.